Hey friends, let's get moving. Today we're going to do some twisting, we're going to do some jumping, we're going to do some shouting. Well, we'll probably not shout, but the other things we're going to do. You might want to have a blanket or a pillow around just in case. And let's go ahead and get started. So to begin, I just want you to shrug your shoulders in a circle, getting some motion there. So you're doing both at the same time, in unison and reverse. And then go one at a time. Maybe as you're doing this, you can tune in and listen to how this movement changes the sound of your breath. Reverse. And let's stop and shake it out. Shake out your feet, shake out your hands, get everything moving a little bit. Okay, now take your feet wide apart, wider than your hips, turn your toes out wide, and we're gonna get started here. So let's go ahead and sit down into a deep, wide squat here. Okay, and then you're gonna have your hands touching one another out in front of your chest. You're gonna take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're gonna use your left hand to paint across the inside of your right arm across your chest as you open up into a twist to the left. And then you'll come back to center and stand up, okay? So we're gonna do it again. Take a breath in. You're gonna squat down as you inhale. As you exhale, painting open to the right. Inhale back together. Exhale to stand. Let's do it again. Inhale to squat. Exhale to paint your twist. Inhale together. Exhale to stand. Inhale to squat. Exhale to twist. Inhale to center. Exhale to stand. Let's keep going. You can go quickly or you can go a little slower. You tune in with your body and see what tempo feels best to you today. So you stand up in between each twist. Exhale to twist, inhale to center, exhale to stand. Inhale to squat, exhale to twist, inhale to center, exhale to stand. Keep going. Your legs feeling it? Keep going. You got this. One more each way. You did it. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, give a big sigh and fold forward. Okay, bend your knees and stand back up. And you can step your feet back towards one another. Let's tune in a little bit more to our shoulders. So stand just comfortably with your feet. And I'm gonna turn sideways so that you can see I'm gonna maintain a really neutral rib cage here as I am moving my arm through this circle. So let's start with the arm out in front, wrist at shoulder height, and irradiate tension throughout your body. So as you do this, you're making your arms straight, strong. You've got a tight fist. You have a really strong mountain stance here. And then you're going to, as you circle your arm, you're kind of imagining that you're moving through like cold honey or molasses. So it's really slow and intentional movement here, circling through. So as you take your arm down and back, you're keeping the rest of your body in that starting neutral position. When you max out here with your wrist behind you, then you can flip and rotate your upper arm bone and then keep going. So this would be like a pitch, a baseball pitch in slow motion. We've just got one more. Really stay honest about pitching through cold honey. Really eking out all of the range of motion you can get in your shoulder. Okay, now we're gonna reverse. So same thing here, going really slow and intentionally, reaching back behind you as much as you can. And then as you come around here, this is like slow pitch softball to bring your hand up. We've just got one more in this direction, still irradiating tension throughout the body. We're getting our shoulders ready for what's to come. Okay, you can go ahead and relax, shake that out. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So I have my other hand just here on my ribs to make sure that I'm not, compensating with my spine or my rib cage as I'm moving my arm. You want to keep your ribs in this neutral position while we just focus on the shoulder. So get your fist, wrist at shoulder height, irradiate tension, you're super strong here. All your muscles feel activated and strong, and then you're moving through, kind of rowing through cold honey. When you max out behind you, you're gonna flip your arm, rotating your upper arm bone, really trying to eke out as much range of motion here as you can. If you imagine that your range of motion is like a room, or this big circle that you're making with your arm is like a room, you wanna make sure that you're dusting in all the cobwebs. Make sure you're staying honest. It can be really easy to rotate into a twist to make it seem like your arm is actually, your shoulder is actually more mobile than it is. So stay honest. Okay, we're gonna reverse. Here we go, up and back. Slow pitch. Keep that tension, keep that straight elbow. Keep breathing. Oh, I twisted on that one. This is the last one. Okay, and relax. Shake it out. Shake it all out. Come to the back of your mat. We do this in Kind Body Kids. It's called the inchworm, and we're gonna do it now because it's fun. So if you've ever seen an inchworm move, it moves with its front feet and then the back legs catch up. So we're gonna bend at the waist, reach the ground. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to get down there. So now this is our starting inchworm position. You're gonna walk your hands towards the front of the mat, and so you're effectively coming into a plank position. You can always tap your knees down for extra support. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna go ahead and walk your feet up towards your hands. And then you're gonna bend your knees and stand up. Okay, so we're gonna go back and forth a few times here. So bending at the waist, bending at the knees, hands down. This time we're inchworm in reverse, feet walk back to plank, and then hands walk back to feet. Bending the knees, stand up. Again, bend your knees, reach down, touch the ground, walk it out. Coming into your plank. Now pause here in your plank, and you're gonna tap your left foot out to the left and back in, and then your right foot out to the right and back in. And then feet come up to hands. Stand up. Here we go again. Bend your knees, reach down, walk your feet back to a plank. Same thing, left foot taps, right foot taps. Bend your knees, walk your hands back to your feet. Stand up. Again, bend your knees down, walk it out, coming to your plank. Left foot taps, right foot taps, left foot taps, right foot taps. Walk it up, feet up to your hands. Stand up. Again, bend your knees, reach down, walk your feet back. 2 taps, left, right, left tap, right tap. Bend your knees, hands walk back. Stand up. Now we're gonna switch it up a bit here. Bend your knees, reach your hands down, walk out to your plank. And here we go. Left foot tap, right foot tap, left foot tap, right foot tap. From here, you're gonna step your right foot to the front, coming to a lunge. So you might be able to do that in one swoop. You might need to drop your knees first. Whatever you need to do, just get there to your lunge, and then go ahead and make your legs strong. Lift your torso up. Bring your hands back into this position that we used before. So before, when we twisted, we painted open. So this time when we twist, we're gonna paint a rainbow. And that's why we just did those cars for our shoulders. And then you erase your rainbow. Put your hands back down. You're gonna step it back to a plank. And then from here, walk your hands back to your feet, stand up. Bend your knees, touch the ground, walk to plank, 2 taps, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Now left foot into the lunge. So if you need to drop your knees first, do that. Get set up, stand up, woo. Hands out in front together. You could clap your hands. And then we're gonna paint a rainbow, open to the left, and erase the rainbow. Coming back to the center. Hands down, left foot steps back to plank, bend your knees, walk your hands back to your feet, stand up. Again, bend your knees, hands down, inchworm out to plank, 2 taps, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot forward into the lunge. Get steady, lift up, clap your hands, paint the rainbow, bring it back, hands down, step it back to plank, bend your knees, walk your hands back, stand up. Other side, bend your knees, hands down, walk it out to plank, 2 taps, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot forward to lunge. Get stable, stand up, clap your hands, paint a rainbow, erase your rainbow. I'm having fun, I hope you are. Bring your hands down to the ground, step back to plank, walk your hands back, stand up. Now, here's where we're gonna switch it up a little bit more. So if that felt manageable, then you wanna stick with that, then stick with that. But if you wanna kick it up a notch, I'm gonna offer you a way to kick it up a notch, okay? So let's go ahead and bend down, put your hands on the ground, walk out to plank, 2 taps, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot forward to lunge. Get stable, come up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, really eking out that range of motion. erase. Bring your hands down. Now, option 1, step back to plank and switch to the other side. Option 2 would be a jump, okay? So whichever you are choosing, go ahead and get your left foot forward, come up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, erase, bring your hands down, either switch through plank or jump. Right foot forward, come up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, erase, hands down, switch, jump or through plank, come on up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, erase. One more each way, hands down, switch, right foot forward, come up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, erase. Bring your hands down, switch, left foot forward. Last time, here we go. Get steady, come up, clap your hands, paint your rainbow, erase. I bet you never want to hear paint your rainbow again. Bring your hands down to the ground, step back to plank, and then from here, drop your knees towards the ground. So option 1 would be coming into a tabletop here with your knees on the ground. Option 2 would be to keep your shins parallel to the ground and hover. Let me just take a breath for a second. Now, here in your plank, or I'm sorry, here in your table, whether your knees down or knees up, you're gonna go left foot back, right foot back, left foot back, right foot back. So you could just be in all fours here, especially if you're feeling like your heart rate got really up there and you need to catch your breath. Be kind to yourself. Do the easy one. Take the easy road. Or you can take the hard road, the challenging road. 3, 2, and 1. If your knees are up, drop your knees to the ground, and let's go ahead and put our forearms down on the ground now. Take a moment, hang your head here. Relax your neck, deep breath. Again. Last deep breath. Great. Okay, so from here, you have your elbows under your shoulders and your forearms are parallel to one another. Your ribs are up, so you're not slumping down here, hanging out through your ribs. Keep your ribs in a neutral position, and then also manage that tendency to crinkle in the neck. Keep your neck a little bit longer. So you're going to take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to try lifting up your right knee away from the ground by lifting the right hip towards the ceiling. And then you'll inhale to set back down. Exhale. Move your left hip up towards the ceiling. Inhale, set back down. Exhale, right hip. Inhale down. And you can look back at your knees and your hips as you lift one knee up off the ground. You want to make sure that your hips aren't swinging out to the side. You want to keep your hips stacked over your knee. Long neck. Do the work on the exhale. Inhale to release. For 3, 2, and 1. And now you get to slither, slither, slither to your belly. So kick your elbows out, make a pillow with your hands, take a breath here. And then from here, go ahead and lift your head and your shoulders away from the ground and take your arms around behind your back. Okay, so your feet are still on the ground, your pelvis is still on the ground, your neck is nice and long. You can think about holding a grapefruit under your chin. So that's going to keep a lot of length without crinkling up in the back here. So you're going to pretend like you have a ball behind your back. So touch all of your fingertips together if you can. Now, if you can't find your fingertips, that's fine. You're just holding a bigger ball, okay? So maybe you have a big ball that you're holding. Maybe you have a small ball. And here you're gonna keep the ball in one hand and you're gonna take it around in front. And so here, maybe it's easier to touch fingertips with your hands out in front. And then you're gonna take your imaginary ball back around behind you, touching fingertips if you can. Keep the neck long, and we're just gonna go forward and back. Maintain your breathing here. So hopefully you're feeling your upper arm bones rotating. When you get about midway, where your wrists are in a line with your shoulders, hopefully you're feeling a switch in the rotation to facilitate this movement. Whew. Isn't it crazy how just rotating your arms can like make your arms and your shoulders and everything feel so tired? We just don't move our arms a lot like this on a daily basis. Three, two, and last one. Back behind you. Again, make a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead down, take some deep breaths. Great. Okay, go ahead and prop yourself up onto your left side, onto your left forearm. And so my elbow is right underneath my shoulder. And I've got ankles and align with hips and align with shoulders here. Okay, so your top arm can be resting on your legs, or you can do hands on your hip. If you need a little bit more assistance, you can try with your hand kind of in front of your torso on the ground. Okay, so you're gonna take a breath in to prepare. We're gonna do the work on the exhale. As we exhale, we're lifting the hips. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Go as quickly or as slowly as you want. These are hard. So, maybe your hip only barely levitates off the ground. That's fine. Maybe you get them all the way up. Whatever your body can do is gonna be great. And maybe you take a moment to say thank you to your left waist for lifting you up. For 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay, flip around, other side. So right forearm is on the ground, elbow under shoulder, and then shoulders, pelvis, ankles, all in a line. Sometimes I feel like when I get here, there's no way I'm ever gonna be able to lift my hips up, but then somehow it happens. So if you're feeling that, I see you, and let's do it together. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, here we go. Inhale down, exhale up. Again, maybe you're going quick, maybe you're going a little slower, maybe your hips are barely levitating, maybe they're flying high in the sky. It doesn't matter, just as long as you're moving, okay? And then, you know, give a little thank you to your right waist. Thank you, right waist. 3, 2, and 1. Whew! Go ahead and sit up. Great job. Okay, we're gonna turn sideways on the mat again. And you're gonna wanna scoot to the back of your mat, okay? Because in keeping with that inchworm thing that we did before, we're gonna be kind of moving forward and backward on our mat. So you're gonna put your hands back behind you, and it is up to you if your fingers point towards your hips or you turn your hands out, whatever feels better. So you're gonna take a breath in, exhale, lift your hips any amount. Again, they might be barely levitating or they might be way up here. And then you're gonna lean forward, rock forward to max out what feels nice for your wrists and shoulders, and set your hips back down again. Then from here, lift your feet up. And then maybe lift your arms up. So you can just kind of walk your hands back towards your pelvis a little bit and hold yourself up there, or you can go into this full lifted position. Okay, now from here, put your feet down. So you're back upright. Put your hands down and see if you can scoot yourself back. Okay, scoot your hips back. And then from there, bend your knees, bring your hands back behind you. Okay, so we just did forward and back that one time. That's kind of what we're gonna do, but this time we're gonna go forward, 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 and then backward, 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 okay? So here we go. So hands back behind you, take a breath in, exhale, lift your hips, and then explore how far you can rock forward, okay? Whatever feels good for wrists and shoulders here. Set your hips down, lift your feet up, ribs are mellow, and then either walk your hands back towards your pelvis or lift your hands up. Great, and then put your feet down, put your hands down again. We're gonna keep going forward. Take a breath in, exhale, lift your hips, rock it forward, set your hips down, lift your feet, balancing here, walk your hands in, maybe lift your arms up. Great, last one here, put your feet down, put your hands down behind you again, take a breath in, exhale, lift up, rock it forward, set your hips down, feet lift, mellow ribs, maybe your hands lift, maybe your fingers are still on the ground, that's okay. Now, we're gonna get ready to go back. Okay, so put your feet down, put your hands down behind you, take a breath in. As you exhale, push through your hands to get your bottom off the ground, and then reach it back through, okay? And then walk your feet in, put your hands down by your sides, take a breath in, exhale, levitate your bottom, reach back, set down, okay? And again, bend your knees, hands by your sides, take a breath in, exhale, levitate, reach back. Hey, we made it. You did it. Great job. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go ahead and turn onto our heels into a kneeling position. So you can always support your bottom underneath a blanket if you need to. We're gonna slide our hips off to the right, okay? So you kind of have this like hoop skirt situation going on with your legs. Like this is how you would sit if you had a hoop skirt on, except your legs are really tucked in. So then left hand comes to the right leg. You're gonna reach your right arm up. Feel that length coming into the right side. And then from here, we're gonna circle and twist through the right. So taking the right arm back, and then as the right arm comes forward, the shoulder comes forward and you lose the twist. As the right arm comes back, the shoulders open and you come into the twist. One more here. Great. Now we're gonna go over to the other side. If it's okay with your hips, knees, and ankle joints, try not to use your hands as we switch. So just shift your bottom back up onto your heels and then let your hips slide off to the left this time. So again, maybe your hips don't reach all the way to the ground here, and that's okay. Get your blanket or a pillow and sit with your hips on that blanket to fill in that space between the ground and your hips. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Reach the left arm up. Oh, enjoy that length from left hip to left shoulder. I said left hip to left shoulder and I had it reversed, didn't I? And now we're gonna windmill. So as you take the left arm back behind you, you're letting your shoulders open into a bit of a twist. So I'm not really pushing or anything with this right hand. As the arm comes forward, my shoulders close off, and then again, I open up back behind me. And again, last one, forward and back. Great. Let's try to come back up onto our heels. No hands. Great job. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go ahead and come down to our backs, and this is where you might want your blanket or your pillow. Go ahead and lie down. Now, before we get started on any like super fun stuff, well, who am I kidding? It's all super fun, isn't it? Hug your knees into your chest and wrap your arms around your legs, around your shins as best you can. If you can't get your arms around your shins, go for behind your thighs, okay? Either one is fine. And then you're gonna lift your head up off the ground and see if you can get some rocking. You might start small and then building up a little momentum. Try to keep your legs close to your chest as you're rocking. For 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Put your feet down. Take a breath in and out. Great job. Okay, so from here, we're gonna work into a dead bug. So you have some choices for dead bug. One choice is to keep your feet on the ground as your starting position, and this is gonna be kind of like a level 1 basics way to do it. And so that would be as your right leg comes out, your left arm goes behind you, okay? So right leg extends, left arm comes behind you, and then you return to starting position. And then you go left side, left leg forward, right arm back. So it's opposite hand and leg. And as you're doing this, you are working hard to stabilize your pelvis and your spine so that you're not flopping and wiggling all over the place. This is very controlled. Okay, so that's option 1. You can stick with that, or you can come up to the hook lie position. So finding a neutral pelvis where your pubic bone and your hip bone are level, sensing below any lovable soft tissue to notice your bone structure. Neutral pelvis, lift your feet, 90 degrees in the knees, 90 degrees in the hips. If that feels too challenging, but the level 1 felt too easy, then come here. Okay, so you've decreased the angle in your hip. You've moved your knees a little closer to your chest. That's still gonna be fine, okay? So you have options, and then it's the same dead bug, same alternate leg and arm. So right arm forward, left arm back, and switch. Coming back to center each time. So as you're doing this, you're breathing and you're maintaining this contraction in your abdomen so that your tummy isn't bulging upwards towards the ceiling. You want the action instead to be that your navel is moving back towards your spine. So you might feel like, well, how am I supposed to take a breath in while I'm maintaining this tight tummy. So you can just take shallower breaths up higher into your rib cage. And if you're wanting more help with this, or you want to dive deeper into this connection here and breathing while holding that tummy contraction, I encourage you to do the deep core strength progression because that really breaks it down. We're almost done here. A few more. Keep it going. I am so proud of my abdomen and my back muscles and my hip muscles for allowing me to dead bug for so long. Do one more each side. And go ahead and put your feet down. Now, normally I hate this sort of thing, but I think we should try it. I encourage you to say this out loud with me, or at least say it in your head if you feel too shy. I am proud of my tummy. Okay, we're gonna say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. I am proud of my tummy. Okay, now if you were like, gross, that was too genuine, just remember that the word Jen, my name, is in genuine. So here we go. Now moving on, go ahead and put your hands down towards your heels. You should be able to kiss your heels with your fingertips. And then from here, let's go ahead and just press into your left foot and feel how your left hip lifts away from the ground, okay? And then go ahead and set that down. And then just press through your right foot and feel how your right hip lifts away from the ground. So just alternate here a little bit. You might have to hold yourself back from doing a really big movement. We're just kind of rocking on the back of the pelvis here, rocking from side to side. Okay. Now, go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest, okay? You can keep your arms down by your sides for stability. Now, you have a choice. You can keep just doing your left hip up off the ground in that rocking motion. You can do that repeatedly. Or if you'd like to kick it up a notch, each time you exhale, lift your hips up away from the ground. Inhale down, exhale to lift, and continue. Now, if you're doing the option where you're lifting your hips, I encourage you to tune into your pelvis and make sure that while you have your right knee in towards your chest, you haven't hiked your right hip up towards your shoulder, okay? So keep your pelvis in that neutral starting position. Soft neck. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, put your right foot down. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, now let's go ahead and take the left knee into the chest. Again, keeping in mind that we're not trying to hike the left hip up towards the shoulder. We want to keep our pelvis in that neutral position because that's going to challenge our tummy and our right hip a little bit more than if we let our left hip hike up, okay? So here we go. You can, again, just practice pushing through the left foot and pushing through the right foot and lifting the right hip slightly off the ground in that rocking motion. Or you can inhale to prepare, you can exhale and lift the hips. And I'm gonna check in and make sure my pelvis is organized here. Okay, inhale down, exhale to lift. Soft neck. For 3, 2, and 1. Great. Both feet down. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, step your feet really wide, wider than your hips, maybe mats width apart. And then drop your knees over as far to the left as they'll go. Pause there for a breath. Maybe feeling a little bit of stretch on the front of the right hip. And then bring your legs back up to center and drop your legs over to the right as far as they'll go. Enjoy a breath. And bring your knees back up to the center. Now, again, hug your knees into your chest. So either wrapping around shins or the backs of your thighs. Pick your head up and start to rock. So you are curling yourself into a teeny tiny ball here, as compact as you can get. And the rocking motion is not from this like excessive motion of your legs. So notice how the knees and thighs stay as close to the torso as possible. Tiny little rocks, maybe your rocks are big. Soft neck for 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. And this time, push your knees around in a circle. And other way. Okay, and then we're gonna come back up to a seated position. So if you wanna rock up, you can rock up, or you can roll over and sit up. Okay, so let's do a little love here for our hips after they've just worked really hard in this class. So we're gonna come into a 90-90 seated position. So that means that you're gonna take your left foot out in front of you. Your left shin is gonna be parallel to the line of your mat. You have 90 degrees in your left knee. And then your right leg is gonna come out here behind you, okay? And again, there's 90 degrees in your right knee, and your knee is in a line with your hip, okay? Now, if this is too difficult or your joints do not agree, just take this back knee and maybe lessen that angle. Walk your back knee forward a bit. If you're also, maybe it's your front leg that's an issue, take your leg a little bit out of the 90 and 90. So I moved my left knee over to the right a little bit to lessen that angle. Okay, so from here, you're gonna lean forward over your left leg, lift up, turn around, and lean towards your back leg. So there might not be very much room to go on the back leg. That's okay. Turn back to the front, lean down, and turn to the back leg and lean. You can go as quickly or as slowly as feels good, making sure that you are maintaining your awareness of your body as you go. One more each way. Great. Now keep your legs like this. Rotate your torso to the left as far as it will go. Put your hands on the ground over on the left. So this is beyond your legs here. And get really long through your spine, and maybe you can twist any amount more. So my arms are really stabilizing here, but my tummy is still doing a lot of work. Great, go ahead and come back up. Now, let's see if we can switch the legs over to the other side without using the hands. So bringing the right leg forward and the left leg back, 90 and 90. Now, your legs and hips are probably different from left to right side. What might have felt easy on the first side could feel challenging on the second side, or vice versa. So, you can back out of this a little bit by taking your left knee forward. You can also back out of it by taking your right knee to the left. So you're just essentially closing your leg stance here, okay? Lessening those joint angles. Great, okay, so now we're gonna do hands to the ground, kind of diagonally off of the right hip, lean down any amount, come up, rotate towards your back leg, lean back over it, or lean forward over your back leg, any amount, and come back. So just back and forth here. Again, moving as quickly or as slowly as feels nice. One more each way. Okay, bringing your torso back to center. Go ahead and rotate towards the right. Rotate your torso towards the right, any amount more, and then put your hands down. Okay, get really long through your spine, and then see if you can twist any amount more to the right. So your arms are giving you some leverage here, but your tummy is still actively twisting your torso. And let's go ahead and unwind. Okay, now we're gonna come to cross-legged sitting. So when you sit cross-legged, if your knees are higher than your hip joints, you're gonna wanna sit up on your blanket, or maybe a few blankets, or a block, or a meditation cushion, or a couch cushion, or a stool, whatever you have nearby. Go ahead and get it. My knees are a bit higher than my hips, so I'm gonna sit up on my blanket. Now explore that you can have your feet really close to your pelvis. You can also have your feet and your shins further away from your pelvis. And I'd like for us to try that version today. So get your shins as far away from your pelvis as you can, maybe kind of close to parallel to the mat line. Okay, and see how that feels. Maybe shift around a little bit from side to side. Notice how any sensation in the hips changes as you move. Maybe you lean forward a little bit, circle, counter circle. Okay, and then we're gonna switch the cross of our legs to the weird way. So you can see what it feels like to have your feet closer into your pelvis, but then move your shins further away from your pelvis. So you're getting your shins closer to parallel with the front of the mat, or whatever mat line there is. And again, lean over. Now, as I'm leaning over, my sit bones are staying really rooted, so I'm not peeling a hip up as I lean, okay? Maybe circling forward a little bit from side to side, seeing how that feels in your hips. Okay. Now, because I'm not mean, you don't have to stay in the weird way. If you want to switch back to the comfortable cross of your legs, and you also get to choose how close you want your feet to your pelvis or how far away. Okay, so get as comfortable as you can. And again, the goal is to have your knees a bit lower than your hips, or they might need to be a lot lower than your hips for you to feel like you can sit up nice and tall, okay? And we're gonna rest our hands on our legs, on our knees, with the palms facing down, okay? If it feels better to have your hands a little bit back closer up your thighs, you can do that too. It's your choice. I do just want your hands to be face down because we're going to use our tactile sense as part of our meditation here. So close your eyes and start by taking a deep breath in and out, big sigh. Now relax your body into this position. Can you let the fronts of your hips relax and melt so that your knees get a little heavier towards the ground? Can you relax your shoulders, your jaw? Maybe even let your tongue relax down into the bottom of your mouth. And while you're here relaxing your body, focus your mind on the sounds that you hear from moment to moment. As you become aware of the sounds around you, notice if you have any emotional responses to those sounds. Notice if there's sounds that you really love, that you are gravitating toward. Notice if there are any sounds that you really just don't enjoy and you are trying to silence or push away from those. So we can't control how we feel. Those emotions just come up. So if you notice an emotion coming up surrounding a sound that you hear, just notice it. Notice the feeling. Pay attention to it. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be bad. You just notice it, and then you notice when your feeling changes. And you just stay aware of the sounds around you. You stay aware of your response to the sounds. Now shift your attention away from the sounds, but still just allowing the sounds to occur, allowing the sounds to maybe resonate through you, to pass through you, maybe in one ear and out the other, not paying as much attention to the sounds. And now just turning attention to your hands and the sensation of your hands resting on your knees, resting on your legs. Become very aware of the contact points that your hand makes with your leg. Notice the touch, the sense of touch. What's the quality of that feeling? Maybe you're feeling the fabric of your pants. And while you notice and pay attention to the feeling here of your hands on your legs, can you release tension through your palms and forearms, shoulders, and even through the fingers, and let your hands rest more solidly, more effortlessly onto your legs. And let the presence of your hand on your leg be a kind, caring, nurturing touch. Your legs did a lot of work in this class. Allow this gentle resting of your hands on your legs to be a sign of gratitude, a sign of appreciation. And if there's any other part of you right now that you feel proud of, or that you feel maybe needs a little extra TLC, a little caring, nurturing touch, then you can move one or both of your hands to that spot now. And feel feelings of care streaming from your hand. Release your hands into a comfortable position and bring your chin down to your chest. And let your head rock from side to side, giving a nice little stretch to the neck. And you can start to blink your eyes open. And bring your head back to center and slowly lift your head up. I'm so proud of you and your legs and your tummy and your arms. You did a great job. Thank you so much for joining me. Just showing up here for this time is such a gift to yourself. I'm so proud of you. I'll see you next time.